Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton and Kevin Owens have had their 6-man tag team match completely burst apart at Money in the Bank, with the Bloodline Civil War spilling over. And of course, it was due to being outnumbered until the return of Roman Reigns. But with that behind him, Cody arrives on SmackDown and he wants to focus on what means the most to him, and that is the undisputed WWE Championship, and he has a challenge. This championship that I hold in my hands, I held in Madison Square Garden in my father's honor. And he always said to be a champion means you've got to defend the championship. And while I don't hold this one officially, I sure as hell hold that one. And I need to defend my championship, and I want to do it at SummerSlam. Owens emerges, and he has Cody in his sights. But Owens doesn't even make it to the ring because Jacob Fatu blindsides him, and the brawl is on once again because the rest of the Bloodline start descending on Owens. Rhodes runs down to get involved, and he's quickly joined by Randy Orton, and Owens is sick of it all. He screams at Fatu, who is getting some separation, and Owens says, "You want to fight? We're going to fight. Anytime, anywhere." Cody and Orton are working together to try and fend them off, and they do. But Cody did say he was looking for a challenger, and in all the chaos, it seems like he found one. Aldous, I'm telling you, give me Fatu at SummerSlam, and then that's it. No more Bloodline. I'm sick of all this crap. Owens is fired up, but Aldous sympathizes and says, "Yes, you've got your match. Then I will see to it that you are given space and you get what you deserve." Now, as for you two, what do you want to do, Cody? I think everyone would agree that this feels pretty right. And without breaking the gaze, Cody says, "Let's make history. Let's leave a legacy." Orton doesn't say a word. He doesn't have to. And with that, Cody has his challenger for SummerSlam. And it's a match built on mutual respect and a battle widely considered a dream match for fans all over the world. But there is no respect the week after when Orton backs up Owens in a tag team match against Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. But of course, the Bloodline blows it apart, attacking Owens and Orton, and the match gets thrown out. It's on again, and it's getting so tiresome. But Rhodes steps in again. He has their back. He joins the fight, and he's fighting beside Randy Orton before they face off at SummerSlam. But things escalate even further with the SmackDown return of Roman Reigns. He comes out and cleans house again. He's on fire, and the crowd erupts for him. But in the ring, Rhodes and Orton are back to back, and this time it looks like Rhodes might strike first. But he doesn't. And Orton turns around knowing exactly what could have happened, and the respect stays intact. But for how long? Orton leaves the ring as Owens watches on, because he hasn't forgotten about the prize that he wants to get his hands on either. But it's then the man who Cody first took that prize from, who he encounters next. I'll get to you eventually. But for now, it's family first. Roman bows out of the race, but he will be back once his issues with his family are done. But someone who certainly hasn't bowed out is Randy Orton. And he has the official contract signing with Rhodes on the eve of SummerSlam. And it's tense, but it's also respectful. And Cody says, "Randy, you know how I feel about you. I've said it privately, I've said it publicly. You've helped mold who you see standing before you today. It's going to be an honor, and a hell of a long time coming, for fans and for us." And Randy feels the love, but he isn't totally buying in and says, "We've traveled up and down the road. I've seen you be a young upstart. I've seen you wearing face paint and doing cartwheels. I've seen you starting a revolution. I've seen you return a megastar. And I'm proud of you, don't get me wrong. I genuinely am. And Dusty would be proud of you as well. However, if you know me as well as you say you do, you'll know that I will stop at nothing when it comes to getting what I want. But Cody loves this and says, oh, I know, Randy. And listen, I don't just want Randy Orton at SummerSlam. I want the Viper. I want the Apex Predator. I wanted a legitimate challenger, and you're as legit as it gets. So give me everything, and I'll give it all back. The dream match everyone wanted, on one of the biggest stages possible. And it's all about respect, but respect shouldn't be misconstrued as going easy on each other. They go all in. And it's about as even as it gets. Both men have each other scouted. Cody can't quite land the crossroads. Orton can't quite land the RKO. Cody is wearing Orton down. The apprentice is getting on top of the master. And he wants to hit a cutter of his own. He leaps off, but he gets counted out of nowhere with an RKO. But Cody rolls out of the ring, and Orton is writhing around after jarring his back. Both men are down, but the crowd are on their feet. Orton stirs first, and he gingerly goes out to grab Cody, but Cody was playing possum, and he rams Orton's back into the barricade. It's absolutely brutal. It's calculated. It's somewhat devious. But he throws a clearly very sore Orton in the ring, and he hits not one, not two, but 3 crossroads, and defeats his mentor. Instead of Orton doing whatever it took, it was Cody. He exploited Orton's weakness. It's all fair game, but as Orton said, when he sets his sights on something, he will not stop. Orton slides in the ring, and the crowd start yelling at Cody to turn around. The Viper is gonna strike! No, he doesn't. Orton congratulates Rhodes and leaves the ring to him to close out an incredible SummerSlam. But it certainly feels like there's some unfinished business. Now I know what you're all thinking. You're all thinking that I'm going to come out here and rant and rave, but at SummerSlam, I was beaten. And I wanted to bring out the champion to officially congratulate him. Cody Rhodes comes out, but you can tell he's somewhat hesitant as he gets in the ring, and Orton says, "Calm down. I just wanted to say congratulations. You got the job done, you did what you had to do, and I'm proud that you did it. You took it to another level. Even if it was a little underhanded, but who am I to say anything about that? And listen, you always had my respect, but you have even more now. I do wonder though, if you could do it again." Alright, with all due respect, I think we know what needs to happen. Cody, it was gonna be me and you at SummerSlam before the stupid bloodline got in the way, but that's done now. I want what I deserve. And Orton looks annoyed. He almost looks semi-poised to strike. After a moment's thought, the Viper slithers out of the ring and leaves it to Rhodes and Owens. Cody says, "Kev, I'm actually really glad you're out here." But Owens cuts him off and says, "No, Cody, trust me, you're not. Listen, I've bided my time, I've waited my turn, and now it's my turn. But I want to tell you a little story. When I first came to the WWE, I thought I knew a hell of a lot. But I quickly realized I knew nothing when I met your father. And it's no surprise that I see a lot of him in you. And he'd be proud of where we've both gotten. And after SummerSlam and being done with the bloodline, I realized something. He told me the same thing, To be the champion means you gotta defend the championship. And the reason I hate the Bloodline so much is because they cost me the one thing that I wanted the most. And that's why you shouldn't be glad I'm here. Cody, I'm a prize fighter, and I want my prize. Owens lays down the challenge, and it's very quickly accepted by Cody Rhodes, who knows how much Owens has earned this shot. But does everyone agree? Owens is tuning up for the big match at Bash in Berlin by taking on Santos Escobar on SmackDown. And as part of a little bit of psychological warfare mixed with some extra scouting, Cody Rhodes is at ringside. But the danger rises for Cody when he sees the ruthlessness of Owens, and he sees how far he's willing to go. He throws Santos to the outside, and right in front of Cody, he demolishes him with an apron powerbomb, and he just stares directly into the eyes of the American Nightmare. And then he throws Santos in the ring and pins him, and a vicious statement is sent right to the doorstep of the champion. And as the show goes off the air, Cody is staring at a man who could well bring this dream to an end. Bash in Berlin. Another tough title defense for Cody. This time, it's a pure brawler, a prize fighter in search of his prize, and Owens is all over Rhodes right from the jump. He's the definition of relentless, and Cody has to purely just go into survival mode for as much as he can. Owens respects Rhodes much like Orton does, but they both want the championship more than anything. But as bad as they want it, Cody badly wants to keep it. And Cody shows the entire world why the champion is a grinder, and he grinds his way back into the match. He hits him with a disaster kick, and Owens is rattled, and Cody smells blood. He bounces off, and he hits him with a Cody cutter as well. It's gotta be time. He calls Owens up to his feet, wanting to finish him off with a crossroads, and he grabs him. But Owens fights out and flings him off, and he flies to the outside of the ring. And then purely on instinct, Owens follows him out, and the ruthlessness kicks in again, and he gets that look in his eyes. He picks up Rhodes, and he drives him onto the apron. Rhodes flops to the floor motionless, and Owens quickly throws him back in the ring. Rhodes still hasn't moved, and Owens makes the cover. It's all over. Orton looks deranged. He looks out of his mind. Owens is motionless after the punt, and Orton has a bloodied Rhodes, and he is just continuously hammering him. Orton, with the blood on his hands, looks down at Rhodes and says, "I told you I would stop at nothing. This is your fault. You have what I want, and I'm going to take it." Let's go, Randy. I looked into the Viper's eyes and I loved it. But let's not do it like a coward. Let's fight like we should, like men, face to face, eye to eye, and then we will see who's the master and who is now the apprentice. Come on, Randy. Where are you at? Let's go. Hey, Cody. Hey, up here. You should know me by now. I do things on my own time. And I know you're angry, and I know you want to fight, but hey, there's plenty of time for that. Cody, you've talked about legacy, right? Yeah. You love bringing up the past, and I know that. So I've got a treat for you. And you're probably wondering where I am, so let me show you. I am at the WWE warehouse. And there is some legacy here, let me tell you. But one thing caught my eye. Yeah. Let me show you. Orton has the title that Dusty held up in Madison Square Garden, and Rhodes is livid. He's pacing the ring, but there's nothing he can do but watch. And Orton says, "See, Cody, You live a lot in the past. I've always looked to the future, and the future for me is taking that title from you. Not to pretend like this piece of garbage still matters. I'm hunting you, Rhodes, and I'm taking that championship. I know you better than you know yourself, because I taught you everything you know, but I didn't teach you everything I know. I'm gonna pick you apart, physically, mentally, and the only thing you'll remember about the past is the 3 most dangerous letters in the history of this industry. RKO. Rhodes is fuming, and understandably so. But this is exactly what the Viper wants. He's a master manipulator, and he has Cody emotional, which can be a blessing and a curse for him when it comes to finding the next gear that he's going to need to take down Orton. But there's a step before the next encounter, because Nick Aldis is not happy about Randy Orton trying to call his own shots, and he wants him to earn it. And so Orton is in the arena holding the very championship that he took from the archives, and he's waiting for his number 1 contender match opponent. He took a punt just a few weeks prior, but he's coming out regardless because he is a fighter and he wants to just keep fighting. And as the bell rings, he does exactly that. He throws whatever he's got at Orton, and he has the Viper on the back foot big time. But it's clear that Owens isn't anywhere near ready for this match, because Orton snaps him up and drops him on his head with the Hangman DDT. The Viper smells the blood in the water, and he stalks him, and he lands the RKO, and he picks up the win. Owens is gallant, but he goes down swinging. Orton versus Rhodes is official for Survivor Series. But you know that the Viper isn't done. He slithers over to the corner and he's looking for a repeat performance from Bash at Berlin. But no, Cody runs out and he chases Orton off, and you can feel the heat between them. Cody Rhodes is screaming at him, wanting to fight. He's so highly strung. But again, is this going perfectly to plan for Orton? Because he's got Rhodes blinded by rage. And he leaves through the crowd, and Rhodes turns to help Owens. That is a huge mistake, because you never turn your back on a Viper. Orton slides back in the ring and lands an RKO on Rhodes. Orton is back to his sadistic best, and he leaves the building with the championship that means so much to the Rhodes family. And he takes it from that building to the final press conference before Survivor Series, and Orton is talking all kinds of trash about Cody. But he doesn't only talk trash, he has a trash can. Cody loves to talk about old times, right? He likes nostalgia. And there's nothing more nostalgic than this championship. But I've said it before. I don't care about the past, because I've killed legends. I've erased the past before, and I want to do it again. So Cody wants to talk about old times. Well, I want to talk about hard times. So let's put this where it belongs. It's on! Cody has seen enough, and he's all over Orton! It's so personal! It's so much more than just championships now! Orton has played Rhodes like a fiddle though! He's brought out all this wild side, and Rhodes, who is usually in control, is completely lost it! And he takes the title out of the trash and rests it on the ground. But he then turns around and Orton was waiting, and he swings the trash can, but Rhodes reverses it, and he's able to use it on Orton this time. And he lays Orton out with it, and they get some separation. It's about as combustible as it gets. It's about as personal as it gets. But only one man can leave Survivor Series with the undisputed WWE Championship. A A full 180 from their encounter at SummerSlam, and 12 months later, Orton stands opposed to Rhodes. And Orton has infiltrated the mind of Rhodes and has him swinging for the fences when the match gets underway. He's emotional, he's reckless, and Orton almost just toys with him. He's hit him right where it hurts him the most, in the heart. And Cody is fired up, but in all the wrong ways, and he's making mistakes he wouldn't usually make. This emotion serves him poorly in that regard, but it gives him an edge. He starts to get back on top of Orton, but in a far more vicious way. He uses the environment to his advantage, slamming Orton off whatever he can find, and taking it very close to the line of what is legal in the match, but not enough to cause a DQ, because he wants to beat Orton clean again. And Rhodes manages, of all things, to hit Orton with an RKO. But Orton rolls out of the ring instinctively before Rhodes can get to the cover. And Rhodes is trying to get out of the ring, but the referee stops him. And now they are arguing. And Rhodes, once again, is wearing his heart on his sleeve. And all that rage is poured out in him by the mind games of Orton. And Rhodes, while remonstrating, accidentally hits the referee in the face. It's not intentional, but it temporarily blinds the ref. And the coiled viper strikes, and he nails Cody with, of all things, the very championship that stirred up all of this emotion. Rhodes is down, and the referee didn't see it. Orton gets rid of the evidence, and the crowd boos are literally rattling the arena. But Orton doesn't care. He said he will stop at nothing, and he follows through on that promise, RKO's Cody, and wins the Undisputed Championship. Cody Rhodes is dethroned by the very man who helped mold him. Orton gets number 15, and on this occasion, it is he that enhances his legacy.